It would be greatly understating it to say Sunderland's last home game was deeply frustrating. But they did manage to chip out a point and remain unbeaten here against Plymouth. Victory over local rivals, though, a huge tonic on Monday night. Though it must be said, had Middlesbrough taken their early chances, it could have been a very different story. There are changes at both ends for Watford. Bakumbeo's red card for retaliation against Norwich, along with an injury to Kwadwo Bar, an illness to Rocco Vata, opens the door for the young Malian Mamadou Doumbia up front. It's a first league start for the 18-year-old. Lefay. Lovely play, Sirkin, potential here for Sunderland, but Rigg didn't come up with a shot that could beat Egil Selvik in a promising position.
Yeah, he just slightly scuffs it. It's not a clean strike, but there's the influence of Lefay. Manipulates the ball brilliantly, but then importantly gets his head up.
Shakbatadze. It was a nice idea, but Larousse wasn't alive to it, and certainly alive to that ball was Wilson Isidore. Might have to do it all on his own, but he's capable of that. But in the end, there were enough yellow shirts, although one had a little pull that was deemed to have impacted Isidore's progress. I'm sure Patrick Roberts can offer more than thoughts in this situation with his left foot, so it's a good recipe here. Either will fancy their chances, and it's the same guessing game we had moments earlier. It will be Roberts taking the low road. Sunderland do at least have the reward of a corner. It's a very deep one indeed. On back across and must be! Well, Luke O'Nien made sure. And a goal of even greater meaning for him against the club where it all began for him. And Sunderland didn't take advantage of the free kick, but they certainly took full advantage of the corner that followed.
Well, the opening 15 minutes, it's been a decent contest, but this is a defensive disaster from Watford. You know, ball way beyond the far post, defender jumps underneath it, and then all the Watford players just stand and watch. They don't anticipate the ball coming back across the 6-yard box. O'Nien does. Look how many Watford players are in there doing absolutely nothing, not tracking the men, not getting back goal side. It's just way too easily. It's a brilliant ball back across. Great anticipation from O'Nien. They deserve the goal, but Watford defensively awful.
Here's Lefay. Neil. Sirkin. A moment of potential, and it still might be, thanks to Lefay. It might break the way of Neil. They were queuing up Rigg! And it is an escape for Watford, but in the end the chance made possible by the desire and determination of Enzo Lefay.
Yeah, both sides have done plenty of attacking, but every time Sunderland go forward, they just look more incisive. They look far more dangerous. And Lefay, we mentioned it earlier on, highlighted it earlier on, his work off the ball, just as important as what he does on it.
Larousse up against Hume. That's very useful. Doumbia and Patterson equal to it, but the referee has pointed to the penalty spot.
It's just brilliant work from Doumbia. We're so disappointed that he doesn't score with a header. Great positioning. in between defenders. Defenders watching the ball, he's in space. It's a savable header, but again, his reaction to the save is why he is fouled and that the penalty is given. So he misses that chance. What does he do? It's not head in the hands, feel sorry for yourself. Get after the ball, which is what he does. Gets a touch on it, Sirkin doesn't. There's not an awful lot of contact on him, but because the striker's got there first and Sirkin has caught him, you can see why it's given.
Deli Bashiru, who scored in the reverse fixture from the penalty spot to secure victory. Has the same challenge again at the Stadium of Light. And he's up to the challenge. Tremendous coolness. And Watford on terms, to the shock of many at the Stadium of Light.
Well, the composure there from Deli Bashiru off the charts, because the Sunderland fans are baying at him. Sometimes when that happens and the atmosphere is like this, you can change your mind. He doesn't.
Shakvatadze. He's up against it here, but he's got the craft. Larousi. Deli Bashiru. Shakvatadze. Larousi's cross diverted into the danger area. Too big a stretch for Doumbia. Oh! And Andrews across the face. Is he suggesting there was an arm in there?
Or maybe it was a touch of a Sunderland defender, but Sirkin does really well here just to block Doumbia's path to the ball. It's not a foul, just does enough to put him off. And just wonder whether that ball just clips Sirkin.
Well, there's no question that Watford have done enough to be on level terms and seeking to do something to get themselves ahead. And Louza! Oh! Extraordinary! A magnificent goal! And, well, a truly unbelievable start to this second period for Watford, who ended the first half so well. And if there was shock in the air when Watford equalised, that has been doubled. Well, he can barely believe it.
The Sunderland players, Sunderland fans, they're just shell-shocked. It's a long, long way out. It's just a sensationally controlled, considered strike. All starts with Shakvatadze again driving at the Sunderland defence, but they step off Imran Louza. It's just perfect. You know, he uses the defender as a screen, but it's just quite perfect. Right at the start of the half. That is so difficult to do. Incredible goal.
Rig in there. Pollock making that header.
There's another touch for Isidore. He took the shot on, I can understand that, but just a yellow wall in front of him.
Poveda. The possibility, Isidore having to improvise the odds against him. He felt he was fouled.
Oh, he does well to protect the ball. The defender is at his back. Does the defender pull him to the ground? Does he foul him a banquet? Again, it's a massive risk because he's wrapped his arms around him. He's got a hold of him. He is very lucky to escape the defender there. Again, that ball to the far post causing problems.
Here's Neil. '09. Neil again. Ballard. Poveda. He's done well there. Lefay. Well, he's just hoping someone emerges from the pack.
Yeah, the way that he actually strikes the ball is a pass. He has to play it through the defender's legs. A great awareness about where he can get the ball to. I think he's trying to play that ball towards Isidore.
a banquet, just with a little bump on Isidore to make certain, even though he was never going to get there.
Look at the whole season. If they were to lose this game, only their 50 feet of the season. Incredible consistency.
In a division which by its very nature is exactly the opposite. It's Lefay who is going to take this corner, and he'll hope to come up with one of stellar quality. Isidore's making an offer though here to flick it. Oh, and Sirkin was there! And Sunderland have equalised! Well, you wonder whether it got a touch off a Watford player, given the lack of celebration. Nearly Bashiru in there at the end, in which he converted the penalty. But there is considerable relief around the Stadium of Light. Has the unbeaten record been preserved?
Yeah, and once again, defensively, Watford must set piece, just go to sleep. There's a lack of reaction. The defenders standing and watching, not on their toes, not anticipating something might happen.
Mayenda. Or have they got it right? It's Wilson Isidore! And a chance goes a begging.
I just wonder, could he have maybe taken a touch past the goalkeeper? Brilliant from Mayenda, the weight of the pass, the angle of it superb. He's onside. Can he just take a touch past the keeper, who sat down? What an opportunity to win the game. I suppose we should have expected a game like this. Watford, Sunderland, the great entertainers in the Championship.
Well, the result greeted by boos in some quarters, but Régis Lebris and his team have preserved their proud unbeaten record in the league this season at the Stadium of Light. But given the opportunities right at the end, they'll feel in the end they should have taken all three. Must be said, despite Dennis Sirkin's salvage act with the equaliser, any more than a point would have been really harsh on Watford, who produced an excellent performance here. The final score at the Stadium of Light, I promise you it would be an attractive game, and it's certainly proved to have been the case. Sunderland 2, Watford 2.